Siyabonga, Sis Dooms. And listen, I'm sure all of my Durbanites are heading over to your social media platforms just to let you know what fillings they're into. But now it's time to meet the true star of today. Joining us in the loft is celebrated Cape Malay cultural experience host who has certainly put Cape Malay food on the map. Please, may you help me welcome Fayruza Abrahams. Welcome to the loft, Mama.
Thank you for having me.
Now, it is just so incredible to be able to sit down with someone like you who has truly become like somewhat of a face behind Cape Malay food. Now, before we get into the name you've made for yourself within the food industry in Cape Town, I just want to find out about life growing up in Boerkap.
Yeah. So, colourful.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Colourful, very exciting. Obviously, food plays such a big part in the Cape Malay culture. Each and every opportunity, whether it is a baptism, engagement, wedding, funeral, we've got food. So it kind of almost, it's the one thing that keeps the community together, and also families, you know. The way we grew up, different to how it is today almost, I think, as kids, sitting down, eating what's on your plate, not saying no to what you're being served. I remember that eating anything and everything, eating foods without preservatives, eating healthy vegetables, and we didn't have a takeout culture. So food played a very important role in my childhood, and obviously also years to come, unbeknowing me, I would be practicing all of those things that my mom and my grandmother taught me.
And on that note, I mean, you definitely have a very colourful past and history.
Yeah.
So I really want to talk about the ups and the downs, the highs and the lows that you have experienced, so much so that you've decided to start your own business called Taste Malay.
Yeah. So my journey with food started at a very young age. I was at 9 or 10 when my great-grandmother, started showing me the ropes in the kitchen. I was absolutely, I hated it, to be honest, because I was a kid and I wanted to be playing outside, but we had the role of ensuring that when my mom and dad got home in the afternoon, that there was a meal for the whole family. So throughout my high school career, I learned the basics of Cape Malay cooking, how to clean fish, chicken, mix masalas, identify spices, the basics. In my final year of high school, my grandmother had a severe stroke, and that role fell on me. So for a few years, I had to do that to ensure that there was food on the table when my parents got home. I then was really fortunate to begin a career in the airline. I was a flight attendant for 14 years. I started traveling. I traveled to almost each and every destination you can think of, but I naturally gravitated towards food. I'm seeking out experiences, food experiences, different cultures, getting to learn different techniques, and coming home and incorporating that into my way of cooking.
Yeah.
I then worked at the Cableway for a few years, but I also took ill. I was diagnosed with an autoimmune illness which left me very sick and very unemployed. And I started doing cooking classes.
So from that sickness and that illness, being able to turn it into something that you can quite practically use on a daily basis, which is the cooking, and then Taste Malay came up.
Yeah, absolutely. It started in about mid-2017. I think that was when I was at the worst of my illness. And initially, Palesa, I honestly thought that it was going to be a temporary thing, but I just fell in love with it, you know, and one experience led to another. And now it's been about 5 or 6 years, and the business is growing.
The business is booming, madam. I think it's safe to say, so much so that you've put all of your efforts into an incredible book called Experience Boerkap. So please may you tell us a little bit about the book, what we can expect in the book as well.
Yeah. So what an experience is, there's a lot of ladies in the Boerkap like myself doing Cape Malay cooking classes, and our idea is really to pay homage to our culture, teach people how to cook Cape Malay food. We all love samosas, we all love roti, but nobody knows how to make it. And what I've done is I've really put all the recipes that I teach on a daily basis basis in a little handbook.
Okay.
There's also information about the boerkaap, a little bit about the history, where to shop, what to do, who to eat with, what not to do in the little book. So anybody can pick it up and cook an absolutely delicious 3-course meal. Starters, sambal, sides, mains, rice dishes, and dessert.
The sky's the limit. You've definitely equipped us with everything that we need to be able to execute Cape Malay cuisine. We really appreciate you, but I think it's time for you to get off this couch and head into that kitchen with the chef Domine.
Thank you. I'm excited.
Now we have some great news for you, Mzansi. We are giving away a copy of Experience Boerkaap. To enter, head over to the Afternoon Express Facebook, Twitter or Instagram page and let us know who the author of this recipe book was. Obvious. Don't forget to include the hashtag Afternoon Express in all of your comments. This competition closes on Monday, the 12th of September at noon. T's and C's can be found on afternoonexpress.co.za. Now, Dumi, let's make some samosas.